told me,
welcome back, everybody, to LA Lifestyle. You just heard the first installment of the 5-Finger Freestyle Challenge. Make sure you hit us in the DM on Instagram, L_A_lifestyle. Let me know what you think. And even 2 suggestions for future artists. You know, we're going to, we've got some announcements coming up with some very, very, great groups of people. And shout out to, you just worked with one of them. We ain't dropping any names, but, we got some big announcements January for everything. But moral of it is, guys, we got Gehrig Kniffen. We got Mercutio X.
Yes.
We got Lethal Session in the house.
Facts.
So let's dive in. We're back out here. I just want to thank everybody for who is tuning in. Gehrig Kniffen just dropped his album, Mr.Irrelevant. I'm looking at a copy of it right now. He's even got the custom Gehrig Kniffen 805 jersey. You really spin a basketball like that?
I thought. Oh yes. Come on now. I'll put my.
You hoop. I know you hoop.
I will gladly hoop against any rapper alive right now.
Dude, I almost want to play you in a game of horse and embarrass myself.
We
can do that.
Isn't there like one rapper that's like rapping right now, or the one dude who's on the NBA?
Yeah, he's like he's
like mid, but he's kind of good though.
He's not a bad rapper, and he's a really good NBA player. So it's like if you want to,
you're like I'll go anyone except for Damian Lillard.
Shout out to Dame Dollar.
Yeah, he would beat me in a one-on-one game.
He would beat
Miles
Bridges.
Also, I just want to clarify too, like we are definitely Lethal Session, a parody of Lethal Weapon, but I'm Mel Gibson.
Oh, you are.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
I don't know about
Dang,
I'm absolutely Mel Gibson. Gehrig has a loving family. Bro is absolutely Danny Glover. Like Danny Glover didn't rap either. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying, I'm Mel Gibson.
I can see that.
Yeah, I'll have a mullet next week. Believe me.
Yeah, well, it looks like you could get a wicked perm going.
Absolutely. I'd have to change my music if I had a perm.
Right, it'd be different.
It'd be NWA, right?
Maybe like some Rick James or something.
Yeah, Rick James. I love Rick. Actually, funny that you brought that up. Rick James is one of my favorite artists.
What is he? So when it comes to rap, though, how about this? What is it about Rick James? What does he do for you as an artist? How does he inspire you?
Rick James, for me, is like the masculine version of Prince. Like, he came in, he's still wearing the tight leather outfits, he's still making all his songs, but I feel like he doesn't get enough appreciation because he made all the melodies. So for someone like Rick James to inspire me, it's like I'm coming from a place of he's authentic to himself. He's really just making some freaky music. Like, he doesn't care who's judging him or what's going on or if he's chaining someone to the radiator. Like, bro is just devoted to his life. You know what I'm saying? So that's where Rick James has inspired me. Besides just the melodies, it's also just like, he does his thing. He's Rick James. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's Rick James.
He's just Rick James is all you need to know. Rick James!
I'm Rick James!
Well, with that though, Gehrig, who's okay, that's like an 80s pop culture like icon. Give me an 80s pop culture icon that inspires you.
Magic Johnson.
I knew. I thought you were about to say Allen Iverson.
AI is more like 90s, 2000s.
Like a basketball player. I knew it. I was like, he's gonna go Jordan, Iverson, Kobe.
Yeah, Magic or Bird. I get Bird.
Okay, Bird.
Bird's a good one.
Bird made sense when you said it.
Yeah, Bird. Larry Bird feels like the answer I should have given.
Larry Bird or Magic
just for his sake.
So what is it about Magic Johnson?
I just feel like,
well, because you be assisting rappers like he assists.
I feel like when I hooped, I loved passing. Like, I like scoring, but I like passing more and getting teammates involved. And I feel like music is kind of
like you're a structured basketball player. Like, you line them up for like that quick backdoor cut.
Oh, dude, we're fun. We're so fundamental. You've never seen a crisper bounce pass in your life, dude. Don't let me come up and set a backdoor screen. Someone's getting
done.
Yeah.
He's just saying black stuff I never heard of, man. He's using terminology I wouldn't even. I'm like, man. He's like, we would have hit a crisper triple flip underwater dip, man, and you wouldn't have done anything. I'm like, I don't even know what you just said. That's why I'm saying he's Danny Glover. I'm Mel Gibson because I'm the least black person in this room right now. You asked me to explain the rules of basketball. Man, I can only rap. That's us.
Oh my god, these guys, see, this is why these two, like, they're perfect for an album together. Like, I can't wait, because actually too, you know, to the audience out there, you all know we have our sister company, Hot 16s. We're actually going to be doing an album reaction to Mr. Irrelevant.
Ooh.
I listened to the
didn't know
first,
that.
well, I've listened to the first 4 tracks of this, and I stopped myself.
Dive into it, dude.
You know, like, I'm gonna hit it hard. Don't get me wrong, but I have you know, some stuff that we got coming out, like I said, out January 2024. It's gonna be just, you know, like a really great, you know, it's gonna be great. Like, we got a lot of new stuff going on, a lot of new movement, and that's one of the things we're doing. We're gonna start doing album reaction, because I feel like it's good to have the ability to know that there's someone out there listening to your music, and that there's someone out there that actually can give a decent, like, feedback on everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And, like, even too, you know, with our audience tonight, like, you just heard that real artistry right there. Like, to be able to challenge someone like that, you know, to rap for 8 minutes straight. You listen to rap and it's 45-second verses.
Mm-hmm.
And it takes them a month to write it. Let's dive into y'all's writing process. Because that's the thing I'm most impressed also by both of you.
Mm-hmm.
I've rapped with Mercutio before. I will always remember this. We had a beat on. This guy said, I'm going to go to the bathroom. By the time he was done going to the bathroom, he had his verse written.
It's my guy.
Once you write the first 2 lines, you know exactly how it's supposed to sound. So once you have the basic structure of like, okay, I got these first 4 bars, so I can... You don't need the beat at that point. You can write every single thing without the beat because you already can go back to the first thing you wrote on the beat. So yeah, that did happen. I've spent a lot of time like working with Andrew. The thing that I enjoy about working with him is a lot of times you work with people, they just don't have confidence, they just don't believe in themselves, and at the same time, they can't take any type of criticism, or you can't keep it real with them. I could always keep it real with Andrew. He would say, oh, you know, I don't like how I'm doing this, or I like how I'm doing this, and we would try and figure that out. So
yeah, and that's even too, like, a lot of y'all have heard too, like, you know, if you've been to my shows, I always play What I'm About. That's my lead single. I love that song to death. It was the first song I ever wrote on pen, and I was able to write it with it.
yeah, I was there in the building when that happened, man.
And you know, that's what I say too, is like, put yourself and surround yourself with people who are going to elevate you to that next level of confidence. And that's what you definitely did, man. And even you too, Gehrig. Like, the fact too that me and Jaden were both able to play that song at your guys' Lethal Session album release out in Slow. Like, still to this day, that's the only out of LA show I've ever done.
That's dope. I didn't
So,
know.
That's
like,
hard.
That's the only show I've ever done.
How does that feel? How does that feel knowing that you've done a show out of town? Because there's a lot of people who've done so many shows in town.
For me, it means a lot because you know what? I know that I am trying, and people see the artistry and the talent in me, and it just goes to show, you know what, that I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start to do anything that's always local, especially like it's always local, like you're always like, oh, I'm gonna go to the local bar.
I mean, I don't know personally if it was the furthest for Gehrig, but for me,
Didn't you guys go?
We went to Mount Shasta.
Yeah, that was
You went
my-
to-
It was like a 10, 11-hour drive, and we performed at this bar with all these people who
You went
have
farther-
never heard rap before.
That was awesome.
And we had like one chick who was dancing on like a pole.
She was very into the
And
show.
she was just having a good time.
Loving it.
And then all her homegirls were having a good time. And everyone else was just sitting like mad. But they liked it by the end. But they didn't know if they should dance
They
or
didn't-
what they should do. Like,
Okay, I was curious about this because I know you guys did that tour. You guys went to San Jose. You went to Weed. You guys had a good run of... Okay,
absolutely.
how did you book that? And I know that area.
That was all Gehrig.
No,
that was all Gehrig.
I know
He
you went
booked it.
to... Was it Butte? Or what?
I went to College of the Siskiyous.
Okay, which
up
is...
in Weed.
okay, so how did you pull that?
So
Did you know the bar owner? Did you know a friend?
I can't remember exactly even how I got plugged in with the bar owner, other than basically what I did to get the tour is like we called it not a tour because it was just like one show a week in a different city. But we did it for like a couple months straight. We had like a show a week. It was dope.
It was really... We did like 7 or 8 shows.
Yeah.
I think next time we talked about it, like we'd rather do like all in
Like
a shortened
2
amount
weeks.
of time, like a 2-week period.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did at least one show a week
Mhm.
for like 2 months, basically.
Yeah, super fun. And so that one was literally just I because I went to school up there, I still have buddies that live up there. And I hit them up and was like, do you guys know of any places that would maybe like let me and my buddies come rap? And they were like, hit this bar up. I hit the bar up. Guy hit me back. We went from there.
And shout out to that bar too, Gold Room Saloon in Shasta. Like I said, like we had a good time.
Yep.
But we felt like, okay, maybe the people aren't like responding to us or they don't know what to do. And so after we were kind of feeling like a little demoralized, and the dude who helped us book, he came up to us and just he paid us. Like we didn't even expect to get paid, and he came and he actually paid us, and it just made me feel like, oh, like I'm doing something right here. Like he was like, that was so fire. I'm like, sorry they didn't feel what you were doing. Yeah, that was amazing.
He literally told us that like.
So I would love to go back. I just want to shout you guys out so much. Gold Room Saloon in Shasta.
Yeah, he showed us a lot of love after, just in terms of, he was like, don't worry about like reaction stuff with that. He was like, that was one of the better, like we've had a lot of bands come through and like, you know, that charge us to have them here. He's like, and that was better than a bunch. So like, take some money, threw us a little chunk of cash. We were stoked because
it's some of the most love we've got.
Man, I remember too, even at the library, I remember when y'all got a little chunk of cash, the first thing this cat does is goes by, what was it, that fucking, the Halo, the Nerf gun?
Look, if I don't have a Nerf gun, if I'm not having fun in the studio, don't ever check me about my Nerf guns. I have 3 boxes of Nerf guns at home because it's real. And I don't go to the studio, like, I can record at home. I don't go to the studio to waste my time. I go to the studio to have fun. And if I pull up to the studio and I have a plushie, you feel me? I got a stuffed armadillo, and you don't even want to vibe with me at the studio? Oh, you being childish, Merc. I'm going to go home. I didn't have to be here. So that's what I'm saying. I'm going to pull up to the studio with a cap gun, a Nerf gun, a dreidel. You feel me? I don't care. I don't care. Shout out we. I'll pull up with a dreidel right now. Anything to have fun.
Why a dreidel, though?
You ever watch a top spin, man? It's beautiful. And if you ever watch a dreidel spin, it's like a top, but it's in Hebrew. So the cool part about that, you watching it spin, you learn in Hebrew. So I just shout out Free Palestine, but shout out to all my people right now. Peace to all non-combatants. I hope that all civilians and all people who are just trying to live their lives can come in peace, and we can all live together. You know what I mean? I feel like with hip hop, you know, all jokes aside, with hip hop. And part of the reason why I feel like Lethal Session is important is, like I said, like we're in kind of like a white rapper renaissance, and we're in a position where hip-hop is really transcending race right now. Like truly, we have come to a point where it's about making art, and it's about telling your story. And now that we're familiar with kind of the NWA story, or the, you know, I made it out the hood and all the oppression said against me, absolutely, those are important stories. But I do want to hear about what it's like growing up in Cambria. I'm curious about that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of stuff that people want to hear. I know for a fact people from San Bernardino, people from the IE, they want to hear what it's actually like growing up there, instead of always having to rep LA every time you, like when someone's like, oh, you're from California, they think you're in LA. I'm like, man.
Oh, we from the Bay.
I don't like getting my car broken into. Like, I stay in my hometown, you know what I mean? Like, I'm comfortable with San Bernardino. It's funny though, because I'll tell people I'm from San Bernardino, and they're like, like they're like they give me respect all of a sudden. Oh, I was just born there, man. It's not that bad. It's not that bad if you grew up there. It's really not. It's just chill. It's like how you had to deal with the turkeys in Cambria. If the turkeys had guns.
The turkeys over.
It's just that. It's just if the turkeys had guns.
That's all.
And you fear for your life. That would be. But if I dress a Western type of way, so I don't worry about that. I'm wearing a cowboy hat right now.
When you dress a Western type of way, like.
I'm a paisa.
Let's go.
Right, let's go.
Boyle Heights out here. But guys, we're coming into a close little end of our show. We got a few minutes here before we transition out. You know, guys, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure tonight to rock with y'all. We just did the first ever 5-finger freestyle challenge, and man, just let us know what y'all think. Give us some recommendations on who you want on the show. I mean, it's only going to get better from here, man. LA Lifestyle. We're out here. I am your host, PvP, man. And we are always painting bigger pictures. We are always trying to be a better, positive community member out here trying to bring value back to our artist. And guys, really quick, where can we find you on social media?
My social media is just my full name. I'll spell it for you because there's no way you'll get it without that. GehrigKniffen. And if you type that anywhere on any social media or streaming platforms, you'll get me.
And then Mercutio, where can we get your social media at?
So I am on Instagram as mercutio.x, mercutio.x. And also, we have a bunch of music out that's on streaming right now.
Yes.
Whether you want our duo or you're looking for solo stuff, I have a project on the way.
Fire.
And I have singles.
Fire.
And he has multiple projects out
Pretty
right
good.
now that are so... Period. Like you want a realistic hype man, right? Hey, you know, it was a good 80%.
It's not that bad.
You know, I will say I listened to Mr. Irrelevant because I was like, let me not be a hater. And I just felt like it really does feel like a project. The one thing I like about making older music or music that's reminiscent of older music, because that's our influences, is when you listen to a CD, it was meant to be listened to from beginning to end.
Right.
This project, Mr. Irrelevant by Gehrig Kniffen, is meant to be listened to from beginning to end. And I feel like it, as someone who has rapped in the 805, who's got so much love in the 805,
Yes.
like it is a good representation of what it's like to be in the 805. I definitely think that the Central Coast is underrated and has, I mean, even if we're just talking Vuvule,
Yeah, that carries.
You know what I'm
that
saying?
does enough right
the
there.
Central
Hey,
Coast
Vuvu
has some
listening tonight or
goats
what?
that are not being
Maybe.
spoken on.
Yo, shout out Vuvu.
Shout out Vuvule, Vuvu, Vuvule. He has so many
Vuvule.
projects out. I have a project that I'm gonna drop with him too. He's produced a bunch of our stuff. He produced on Lethal Session 2 at least. I don't know if he produced on the first one, but he's also made a bunch of songs on Mr. Irrelevant as well.
Yes.
And he is just always sending us beats. We want to show him so much love.
Well,
and just shout out Green Hill and Greenroom.
Yes.
You know what? Since we're talking about Mr. Vuvu, how I decided to end the show tonight, we actually got a couple tracks from Mr. Irrelevant
Yes.
that we are gonna run up right
Fantastic.
now, and we are gonna share to the whole East LA, Boyle Heights Conservatory, and everybody
Let's
listening out on the internet. And just a reminder, we are out here on KQBH LP, Los Angeles, California, 101.5 FM, a community service of Boyle Heights Arts Conservatory, broadcasting live on your FM dial and streaming on lpfm.la. And guys, I'm your host, PvP. My guest tonight was Mercutio X and Gehrig Kniffen from San Bernardino, California, and San Luis Obispo, California. Two very, very talented, multi-genre artists. They got many projects out. You can find them on all streaming platforms, but ideally, let's get over to Bandcamp. Let's
you.
support
Yes.
them.
Yes.
Let's feed them. You know, let's buy their music. Let's respect the artist. The artist is the one putting in this work.